Alright guys, welcome to my Black Adam guide. This is NAKAT, and it's first and foremost, happy Halloween to all. I'm very excited to go over this character. Didn't know too much about Black Adam prior to Multiversus, but of course, with him in the game, what better time to check him out? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. His normals. If you do a neutral attack, you send out a surge of lightning, and as you can see, that static electricity actually sits on the opponent for just a little bit of time. This applies a shock state to enemies. However, if you actually have an ally on the screen, it's a little bit different. It'll actually apply some electricity to your partner, allowing their next physical attack to also apply shock to the enemy. Some utility there off the bat just from the neutral attack, but if we go straight into his forward combo on the ground, it's a series of punches, and in the end, it's a swing backwards. I just think this looks really cool. It looks hella fucking powerful and sinister. Now, it's not going to be something that you're going to go to for a kill, but we can actually view the knockback on it if you put the opponent to around, I want to say 140, to see if it even changes at all. And of course, to no surprise, it's pretty consistent. However, it will throw them a bit further, so if you were to actually catch that at the ledge, you might be able to score a ring out without even realizing it. So just keep in mind, whatever direction you're facing, he should be throwing the opponent backwards. So if we change the damage meter back to reset to 140 and we grab him again, as you can see, where his back is turned is the direction you are going to go, and at way higher percents, it's actually a lot harder to get that last connecting hit of the forward combo. So just keep that in mind when using the move. Definitely think it's a cool looking move, but that's about that. You know what I'm saying? Also, something to note is that if you do the first two punches off of the forward ground combo, you can actually use a down grounded normal to actually try to follow up at times, depending on the opponent's percentages. Now, it's not always going to be guaranteed, however, but it is a nice little mix-up and some utility out of using your forward combo, especially if they end up landing in a position where that move is going to hit. You, of course, can cancel hit one of the forward combo into a jump, or, of course, into a roll, and the same almost goes for the second part of the combo. So you don't actually have to like turbo commit all the time. Keep that in mind. And right there, I just did forward combo into grounded up normal. So I want to say that his normals can link together. They can link, you know, into themselves or with each other, but it's very situational. It's not always going to be just this guaranteed thing that you can do. But going over his other normals, you have his up normal, which actually has the ability to pop up and spike, and also causes shocked debuff. So we're going to do it again. If you pay attention to Shaggy, on that second part, he actually gets the shock debuff. But what happens if that other part of the move doesn't hit? He doesn't get the shock debuff. It has to be the second part of the up grounded normal. And of course, it has a cooldown, as you can see too, so you won't always get the spiked hitbox every time you land this move. But think about how rewarding this move is to use somewhere near the ledge where you can actually strike a KO. If you're at the tippy top of the ledge and you catch someone getting up from the ledge with this attack, you can actually just straight up kill them and spike them. So positional advantage, just keep that in mind. Next up is his ground down normal attack. So this move is a little cool. If you just tap ground down normal, it'll actually hit the opponent from under. Pops him up, and of course, with that being said, you're able to move in and follow up. Now that's the fast, that's like the little light variant of the move. We actually go ahead and we charge the move a bit. A bigger pillar of lightning will come out, and of course, you can follow up off of this too by going exactly to where your opponent is. But keep in mind that if you charge the move, it will actually tick down an ammo count below Black Adam. So we're going to do that again so you guys can see that. Ammo count went down. We're going to do it again. Ammo count went down. Ammo count went down even when I tapped it. So just keep in mind, you can't just senselessly spam this move over and over and over. It's going to have some risk reward to it. But now, let's get into his aerial normal moves. His aerial normal move, literally, air neutral, is the clap. trademark, as you can see. A clap electricity sends him away. Excellent move, not only as an approach option, but of course you can charge it as well to make it stronger. This is uncharged and this is charged. They go a lot further, right? So use this when edge guarding your opponents. Of course, be sure not to just use it too much so it doesn't get sent on attack decay permanently. But you want to be aggressive with this move off stage and even in neutral. Trying to add other moves to it will also make it a lot better. However, again, attack decay is a real thing, and especially in this patch, as you can see, it's coming at you real fast. So do not just sit here and make this move stale over and over, because it's going to definitely be a tool you use to kill. Black Adam's side aerial attack is a 2-hit combo. It's a 2-piece and a biscuit pretty much. One strike forward and then another strike upward. You can't cancel the move, so while I'm trying to do this move, and I can't like really air dodge until the second hit is done. So once you're using this move, you're definitely committing to use it. However, it does have, I want to say, at least decent knockback, especially on like the second hit of it. So I'm gonna hit Shaggy with it right there, and as you can see, popped up a little bit. So imagine that you actually fly up here, and this is something we haven't talked about yet, but you fly upward and then you land that forward hit combo in the air. That's going to be a ring out on the top of the blast zone. So some good utility there. Definitely want to use that to the best of your ability. So Black Adam's down there is a little interesting off of the case that it actually sends horizontally, and it has a sweet spot hitbox. if you don't know that, you'll hear it. It's similar to when Wonder Woman gets her spike sweet spot hitbox from her up air. Well, the Dare also has that as well, so you want to keep that in mind. And it kind of, if you hit them with the sweet spot hitbox on the ground, kind of bounces them all up, sends them horizontal, but it's more like a diagonal upward hitbox. So pretty much that's the trajectory that they're going to go, and they go far. But if you just do the classic spike off the stage, they're going to go horizontal, but they're going to go in like this very weird angle. And the cool thing about his spike is that it's pretty big. Like, honestly, it's a pretty sizable hitbox. So if you actually end up catching someone with it, it's lights out, pretty much. Like, it's hard to come back from because of how strong it is. And the angle that it sends you in, you're going down, and it might not be straight down, but the fact that it's sending you literally to the right or the left at that weird diagonal downward angle, this is without the sweet spot by the way, is super duper strong, because even if you do end up surviving the hit of the down air, it's going to be a pain in the ass trying to make it back to the stage since you're that much further away horizontally, allowing opponents to follow up with edge guards. And of course, Black Adam won't have too much of a problem making it back to the stage with his ability to fly and even air dodge out of the fly. Again, an ability that we will have to talk about. Similar to his grounded up normal, you can actually do the same thing, or rather almost the same thing, in the air. So I'm gonna send Shaggy up. Now the thing about this one is that it doesn't actually have the spike hitbox, so Shaggy will get sent up into the air, and this is good because the move is so big. However, you're not really gonna be killing people with it like that, unless you catch them really high up in the air. So it's pretty much mimicking, I want to say, his up grounded normal, but again, I want to say that the grounded variant, in my opinion, is a lot better because of the utility that comes along with it. Now, of course, we got to get into the special moves. The special moves are the bread and butter of this character. So, what is a Black Adam without his specials? His neutral special summons a lightning bolt that goes horizontal. If you hit your opponent rather, with the lightning bolt, you can actually choose which trajectory they get sent at. You can do up. Actually, hold on. let's see this instant cooldown real quick. You can send them upward, you can send them downward. Shit, send them backward if you want. Now, something else to note is that you can actually choose the direction that this goes. You can make it diagonal, so you can make it go diagonal up, diagonal down, and of course straight. But that's about it. You can't make it go straight up, and you can't make it go straight down. If you apply some charge to this too, it will actually go a bit longer. So this is without charge, this is with charge. That is a major difference. The utility of this move is actually dope as hell, because if you're able to catch your opponent off the stage, right, and you so happen to hit them with that bolt, it's a wrap for them. Imagine that, but off stage, and you can actually spike the Shaggy or send him downward, allowing your opponent, or allowing you to at least set up a situation if your opponent is already to the right with your ally, where you can actually capitalize on that for your team and send them downward or just further off the stage in general. Now, keep in mind, if you do not hit your enemy with the ball at the end, nothing is going to happen, because that strip of lightning right there, the little thin strip, doesn't actually have a hitbox. You have to aim with the end, the tipper of that move to make it go off. But let's see what happens if we hit two allies. We hit two enemies. We have two enemies in front of us, right? So my ally runs over to the enemy Shaggy immediately. There's a lot of Shaggies on the screen. If I send the lightning bolt through, it actually extends through my partner over to the Shaggy, the enemy Shaggy, and I can actually throw them up. I'm going to charge this. It's going through my my ally. It's the enemy Shaggy. You can actually chain the lightning through all of your opponents on the screen, and of course your ally as well to extend it. But a little interesting thing, you can actually hit enemy projectiles with this and it will stop them in place even when in transit. But on a cooler note, let's actually set this to Shaggy real quick, and I'm gonna throw a sandwich at us so we can see the interaction with that. Heavy projectiles will be stopped temporarily, but what of projectiles that are heavy? So we have Shaggy throw a sandwich at us. This is the interaction that happens. Stops it right in its tracks. It ain't going nowhere. And of course, actually you saw that got destroyed straight up. So just keep in mind, projectiles that are not heavy are getting destroyed by the lightning. So let's talk about Black Adam's down special. Black Adam's down special, as you can see, summons this big force field. So the cool thing about this is that it actually interacts with some of your moves as well. If I use my side special, which I have yet to talk about, it will actually reflect the bolt of lightning at my opponent. Unless I do it inside, it will come back to me. Neat little trick. Now, hey, DJ, spin that back. Hey, hold on, guys. Only 24.4% of you guys are subscribed to the channel, leaving 75.6% of you not subscribed. Now, of course, it is not mandatory. However, I am a man on a mission and a man with a dream, and my dream is to one day hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube so I can get that plaque. And not only that, we are on the road to 50K at the moment, so it only takes 1 second of your time. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the vision, and of course, if you support the vision. It would mean the world to me. Now, let's get you back to what you were watching for. Much love. Take it easy. Thank you so much. What are you talking about? Let's do this, bro. What this does is it protects us from projectiles. If you're sick of getting zoned out in this game, guys, today is the day. You got a character that can definitely deal with projectiles off rip. So I'm gonna put the force field up, blocking it, and as it gets hit, it takes more and more damage, making it a lot smaller. So of course, at some point it's going to disappear and you're going to be vulnerable to projectiles again. However, keep in mind, this is great for summoning so that you and your allies can remain safe from the threat of projectiles. And so another character of anti-zoner tools. I feel like these characters are going to become very, very strong in the meta, especially with zoning being such a prevalent way of playing the game. Up next is going to be his side special. Summons a bolt, a circular bolt, and he kind of can like cross people up, right? So if you try to use this towards a projectile, you're gonna get hit. You don't have invincibility. However, if you use this before a move comes out, almost treating it like a dodge of some sort, you will easily get behind your opponent and then be able to punish them. And even if you miss, your bolt will follow where you go. So if I use this bolt and I decide to jump, it's going to come upward. If I decide to go down, it's gonna go downward, right? And so it's kind of missing my body, because the further you get away from it, the more it has to track you, and it's not going to just follow you entirely. So be sure to get really creative with this off stage, or even when like using your moves too to try to, like, I want to say, combine this not only as a cross-up option and a mix-up option, but of course something to defend yourself with as soon as possible. So good move right there. And I want to say it does have significant knockback when you're at a higher percent, making it somewhat viable to use aggressively. Then this one is pretty self-explanatory. My man's can take flight. He can take flight in a very simple way. It's pretty cool though, I'm not gonna lie, but mans can actually just straight up fly. So as you can see, I'm gliding up and I have a, I want to say, fuel meter too. So I'm gonna do one jump, fly, gonna cancel it with the jump, and I can fly again, and the meter actually resets, which is really dope. So guys, make sure that you're watching your fuel, all right? And he flies very fast, very fast. So edge guarding him will actually be kind of difficult, especially because he can air dodge out of flight. Or if he chooses to jump and get aggressive, he can actually do this, cancel the flight, and then attack. So Black Adam players, be on the lookout for when you should be flying and when you should just be using normal defensive options to make it back. But of course, be sure to mix up your, I want to say, just your movement in general off stage, because you do have that added benefit of being able to fly. And even if you jump in the air, of course, it doesn't change. It's pretty much the same. You're still going to be able to fly, which makes me talk about his aerial up special, which is simply just flight again. So let's get into his other moves. So his neutral special in the air actually will take Shaggy's sandwich, as we're going to set him to, of course, again. And it will allow us to redirect it. So right there, I'm actually using it and I am pushing my control stick in directions. So I can actually hurt myself with this if I don't redirect it appropriately. But with my control stick, I can actually guide it right back to Shaggy, and it's going very slowly. And it's just going right past, and we just have the sandwich just in our control. So how would I use this? Well, first off, I don't want to get hit by the sandwich. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna try to send it straight up. And so right there, I just have control of it. Wherever I point my control stick is where it's going to go. So if I want to get rid of it, I can actually send it downward, or I can just control it for however long I want. It's pretty much up to you what you want to do in that regard. Eat this. Now, if you really want to put them in your possession and send them back to your opponent, you can actually go ahead and install it like that, and then if we hit it, it becomes our own. His side special actually doesn't change. It's still the same bolt that you do on the ground when you use the side special. So there isn't too much to comment on there. His down special is simply just 2 shots of electricity downward at your opponent in a diagonal range. Pops them up a little bit, allowing for just some quick damage, and of course to pop them up to try to follow up. However, with the in lag of the move, it's very hard to actually try to get a combo off of this. So I could see this more used as a zoning tool, or of course to try to catch someone before they jump towards you in the air. And with that being said, I'm gonna do a quick little browse over the moves list for you guys to actually check them out yourselves in the video as per usual, as I normally do. No passive this time around, and I don't know if that's going to change in the future, but just keep that in mind. He doesn't have a passive at the moment. But let's look at those signature perks. We got 2 right now. Circuit Breaker. Black Adam deals additional damage to fighters debuffed with shock. So let's actually set, Shaggy set to 0 already, so let's see. This is going to give him shock, and as you can see, we hit him, sent them away. He took about like 54 on impact. We'll do it again. All right, so no, uncharged, he took 15. Let's do that again. The hierarchy of power. Black Adam's ground up attack calls lightning to his ally instead of calling lightning to himself. So let's try that right now. So as you can see, wherever your ally is, it's going to electrify them on the ground as well, which is really cool. So it just hits our opponent, but it gives our ally the shock buff, making their next melee attack actually imply shock to the opponent. So just keep that in mind. It's really cool to see that too. I of course love to see the team elements that happen in this game. So Really nice. But those are kind of his two signature perks at the moment. Let me know in the comment section below which one you're most interested in using. I actually think I'm going to keep the spike hitbox, so I'm not going to be using this one. I'm going to be using the one that applies more damage to an opponent that's shot. So, yeah. But guys, this has been my guide for Black Adam joining the Multiversus roster from the DC Universe. Have you been waiting for this character for a long time? How well affiliated are you with Black Adam? And of course, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. And I hope you enjoyed this guide. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Take it easy. Peace out. Deuces.